she came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Private area, sir. Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle.
Please wait. Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge.
Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. Go right.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about those texts.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me. Said she understood the position I was in. We had a really good talk about it, actually.
Oh, what did I tell you? She's a sensible woman. And that stuff from your ex was like one-on-one.
I know. I guess I thought she was gonna read into them. Freak out. Say I must have done something to provoke her.
Shit, man. Caroline really did a number on you.
I've never seen a place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all. This is what I mean. You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. Oh, I could just cry.
Sir, I just need to check.
That's a bit excessive, I think, considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen.
We know what we're doing, sir. Don't worry about that.
Off you go.
Mr. Whitmer, a great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
I have yet to see a mystery I haven't solved. And I don't give a toss about my fame, if that's what you're worried about. My lips are sealed.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
You assume too much, Madame Carlyle. The crime scene, if such exists, is never where I begin.
Do as you wish. However, I expect a result in a timely fashion. Fernsby will take over from here.
I'm Mr. Fernsby, the butler. I will try to assist you as best I can. Where would you like to start your investigation, sir?
Where's the family? I like to prime the suspects a bit.
Madame Carlyle's family members are all on this floor. Maybe start in the sitting room. If you'll follow me, this way. Priming, you say? That sounds interesting.
It's like planting seeds that will grow into telling actions or words.
I see. Do you wish to plant any such seeds with me? Before I leave you to it.
I already have. And fruit they bear. You are bold, not easily faced, self-controlled and always a step ahead. All qualities a murderer would benefit from. Wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't know, I'm afraid. If that is all, sir, please do come and find me when you feel ready to inspect the crime scene.
Just one question. Is that burned leather I can smell on you? Unusual for a butler to burn leather.
I don't know what you...
Seeds, Mr. Fernsby. Seeds. Desires, buried truths, conflict and intrigue. This will be good. A work of art.
Listen, Gregory. Something's off. Pruitt got word his motion was rejected. We all signed the bloody thing 4 days ago.
Yes, hi, Cassie. It's me again, Edward. I know I'm not supposed to keep you like this. A long time, I promise. It's just... I don't know how to handle this whole situation. I don't think I can really. I can't feel my legs, and my eyes are not working properly. This flicker thing again. You can't tell anyone, but the thing is,
Bad news, I'm afraid.
Yes.
We don't have any extra fuses.
That explains a lot.
You've got to be kidding me. No power, no portrait.
Madam Carlyle will be furious. She expects the family photo to be done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it to be
You
perfect.
strike me as independent and self-sufficient. Taking a break where the family might see you.
I guess.
Perhaps you're also perceptive.
I'll finish setting
Tell me
up,
the first
then
odd
grab
thing
the view
that comes to
before
mind
you
when you
call
think
down
of
the
the last
Good.
24 hours.
That's a good
Let me
plan.
think.
First thing, something.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I left 20 quid in my locker, but when I came in this morning, it was only a $5.
No, not perceptive at all. Muddy prints from high heels. Expensive. Size 6.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
Gregory, don't say more to that weird detective than you need to.
I was just having a laugh, dear. Must admit.
No need to panic.
Pretty good.
What if he believes he has something to do with Zachary's death?
How's everything coming along, Elaine?
Very well, Mr. Fernsby.
Make sure you focus on your work.
I will.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm ready to see the crime scene.
Very well, Mr. Whitmer. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I think the crime scene has more clues, 47. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you. Zachary was shopping for New Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal.
don't need one more maid crying in the kitchen. So,
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
did you establish a time of death?
Just
Zachary
remembered I went
died
from stroll
around
behind
10
the
o'clock
greenhouse
last night.
That means the
Maybe
staff
that's
were
where
off
it is.
duty.
What is?
And
My
Madame
lost
Carlyle and her security
One you can
didn't
find at the
arrive
graveyard.
until this morning.
Wouldn't it be a good idea for you
That
to go and
leaves
look for
Madame's family and myself
A good idea.
as the only persons here
Yes.
when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here is the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle. I don't need one more maid crying in the kitchen. So watch yourself around young Mr. Patrick.
Don't worry about...
This is very useful information, 47. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shithole? A girl like you belongs in clubs in London. I bet you're a great dancer.
I don't like dancing.
What about restaurants then? You like food? I know some great places. You should come visit. I'll take you somewhere really nice. Spend a few bucks. A girl like you deserves that.
I don't know.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him, then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it? What? Hello? It's just me. Don't throw anything at me, please.
Patrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter.
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Oh, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to know?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate intellect?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very thorough, are you?
Hi. That's a little too close.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior? last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff are all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa. Must feel the pangs of guilt over that one. Letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Can't you just relax for a minute?
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Yo, Anne, what's up?
Relax, man. I said I'd get you money. It's just gonna take a little.
How's that my fault?
Mary is so upset. Like she's never seen a dead body before.
Life can be tough sometimes.
And that detective asked to come here. Madame Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to snoop around? I feel weak in my knees from all the tension here.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will settle down soon.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time.
Hello there, sir.
You want to check on that undertaker in charge of the funeral? I got word he's upset.
Hello, sir.
That is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader of the Provenance Partners, and last one to be alive.
Did you see anything suspicious
I mean,
last
it's
night?
a pretty big thing for Mother to fake her own death.
I reckon Zachary tops himself.
Was it a
I know,
security measure? Somebody out to kill
perhaps
her?
Mr.
Everything I hear
Fernsby.
is confidential.
I don't
So
like
you do
him.
know what's going
He could have done it.
I didn't say that.
With all this security, she obviously still feels threatened. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office. Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself. Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings.
You mean like Chris?
Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games. Never any romance. I deserve romance.
Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate. But what is safe with Ethel? She never misses a step. Gossiping and work first.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Hello, sir.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
Who's been at the safe?
Just keep calm.
What is happening here? Somebody has taken the case file. So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I am sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I'll send you an invoice.
Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. I trust you'll see yourself out.
How are you, sir?
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Hello, sir.
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Poor thing.
And that detective asked to come here. Madam Carlyle must believe that.
I heard Mary fainted when she heard Madam Carlyle was still alive. And she didn't even see it herself. It was Fern's speech.
47. They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit! Just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah? How about now?
Over here! Cover me!
Walk away!
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't. Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I'll look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.